Introduce myself. My name is Rohit Tripathi, and I am founder of Ranchi Mall. Now, in case you have been looking for a building, it's called Ranchi Mall, or people ask me, where is that mall? Well, I have to tell you, that mall is only on internet. It's only right now on Facebook. So you don't have a physical building right now. You only have, it's a digital mall, it's an electronic mall. And all we are going to sell are digital products, and that's fine with us. So long as you're going to access Facebook, so long as you're going to access internet, I'll be able to sell things to you. So with that, I want to start with my topic, which is how to bootstrap your startup. Now, does anyone know what is the meaning of the word bootstrap? Has anyone heard of the word bootstrap? Raise your hands. No? Say no. Loud. Louder. No. Okay. So let me tell you what bootstrap is. Bootstrap means starting a company with no external help and no external finance. You don't depend on an external financer to help you to start a company. You only depend on you, and you depend on the customer. And if you can find the customer for what you are trying to sell, it is possible to sell stuff without any external finance. And then your next question is going to be, okay, let it be like this. The next question is going to be, am I talking bullshit? Can it happen? I mean, have you heard that you can start money without external finance? Did you ever thought it's possible to do that? And to answer that question, I have to tell you some stories. And I hope at the end of those stories, you will be convinced that not only it's a great idea to start up, but it's even a greater idea to bootstrap your startup. So let me start with the first story. And this story is called an all-women bootstrap. So when we first talking to Margarita, who was organizing this program, and she was very insistent that she wants this program only for women. And I kind of felt, well, that leaves me out here. But then she told me, you can be the mentor. So I said, all right, that kind of, that balances it out. And I started looking back, I started going back into my history of things I have done to find out, can I find an example where where something has been done only by women? And I found in my professional career, I had worked in a company, it's called NGO. And this company is based out of Louisiana. It's in state of Louisiana, United States of America, and it's very close. It's a town called Metairie, close to New Orleans. Which is it's a beautiful city. If you go to US, go to New Orleans. It's an amazing city. It's a mixture of Spanish, French, and American cultures. Creates a beautiful, different ambience, and they have this program called Mardi Gras. So there's this company called NCO, which was an all-women company. So if you go walk into the company, you will only find women as I find you out here. No, just women sitting out here. And they were very, very good. I had an information security assignment with them, and basically I had to go and check, how good their security of information technology resources are. And I wouldn't be able to take the picture inside them because that was not allowed. So I said that, all right, let's go outside your office and just take a picture. So I have these three pictures. They are the owners of the company, the owner and the chief manager. And I want to show you this, that it's been done. You as a woman, you could create a company, and you can actually bootstrap the company. And this is my first story. My second story is about a company which I admire a lot, and probably which you may or may not have heard, and it's called Berkshire Hathaway. The owner of Berkshire Hathaway is a person. His name is Warren Buffett. He is depending upon the time of the year, either the second richest man of the world or the third richest man of the world. And he started his company absolutely with nothing, only with his ideas. And the reason why I'm showing you this building is that even though we are talking about one of the biggest and the greatest companies of the world, this building is not the whole building is not the headquarters of that company. That company occupies, even till now, just one floor, the 7th floor, and there are 15 to 20 people at a time, that's all it takes to manage a company whose size is $360 billion by market capitalization right now. And I've been a very big fan of Warren Buffett, just not because of his the way he runs his company, the way he manages his company, but also because of his investment skills. He is simply the best investor. If you were to know what he did, you would sit in your house for the rest of your life and you would earn so much that none of your friends would ever earn. Forever, at an ever increasing rate. So mark out that person, Warren Buffett. And this is the address, 3255 Kevin Plaza. This is Omaha, the state of Nebraska, United States of America. This is his house, Warren Buffett's house, who bought this house in the year of 1955. It's a 5-bedroom house. And from that point of time, he went on to become, like he was nobody when he bought this house, and he went on to become almost one of the richest men of the world and America. But he never changed his house. And this house is kind of a downtown, it's kind of a downtrodden neighborhood of Omaha. Like even middle class people don't buy houses there, they have moved somewhere else, but he loves this house and he stays here. Also reflects his simplicity. This is a restaurant, it's called Piccolo. He's the manager of the restaurant. And Warren Buffett, when he writes an annual letter, and if you are doing, I talked to a couple of you and I found out that you are studying BBA, some of you are doing MBA. You must read the annual letter that Warren Buffett writes in Berkshire Hathaway. That is simply the best finance education ever available. So mark out, go read his annual letters, and you don't need to read any finance book ever in your life, and I can guarantee you that. So in that annual letter, he mentions 2 restaurants. One is Piccolo and Gorat. So I actually went there. I met the manager of both. This is the manager of Piccolo restaurant. That's Gorat's. And she is the manager of Gorat restaurant, and we talked about Warren Buffett, and she's giving me a memento basically with Warren Buffett, something on Warren Buffett with me. And this is the place where he conducts his annual general meeting, which is a super. If you are in America, this is something that you must attend. Okay, you must go to his annual general meeting, and that's it's the Century Link Center in Omaha, and that's where some of every year he does in the year of April. So if you right now Indians are not able to buy shares in American companies. Legally it's permissible, but the infrastructure is not there. If that infrastructure comes, you'll be able to do that. And I hope Ranchi will be one of the entities will play a role out here. We want to create such things where you should be able to buy shares in companies like Berkshire Hathaway, which you should, because Berkshire Hathaway shares is better than any house investment, any land investment, any finance investment, any stock investment that you have ever got. People who bought Berkshire Hathaway shares, they spent $1,000 in 1960, are basically millionaires right now. And then we also have, if you bootstrap, okay, you basically give a lot of time to yourself. You do stuff for yourself. You do things, you travel, you try new things, and sometimes you get some unexpected encounters. And one of my such unexpected encounters was when I love traveling, and I work when I want to work. I travel when I want to travel, and I ended up in this place called Jackson in Mississippi. And she is First Lady Deborah Bryant. She is the wife of the governor of the state of Mississippi, and they were doing a pre-Christmas party. I was actually visiting the state parliament there, and the state capital, as they call it in America. And they told me that you can also go. This function is going on in the governor's house. So I went there, and then I met her, and she was so kind-hearted. She liked me so much that she actually got her husband from her bedroom. It was pretty late in the night. She dressed him up, and then so that's the husband, that's Governor Phil Bryant, of Mississippi. He's still the governor. This was a couple of years back, and she made her dress. And in this picture, she is putting a tie on her. She's setting her tie, and then she gave me a gift, and I think it's a pretty good story, and I'm going to probably tell this story to you rest of the life. And the reason why I brought up this story is once you start walking the unconventional direction, once you do things on your own, once you start building things, going on doing, certain things will happen that you cannot even imagine. All right, and that's why I sometimes think that too much planning, like Amitabh Bachchan used to say in the movie, "Soch agar gehri ho to irade kamzor ho jate hain." So I think you should not think too much. Entrepreneurship is the way to go. Once you start going in that road, amazing things will happen to you, and you cannot even imagine it. You can't even plan it. So think about it seriously. My next story is about being ambitious. One of the problems with small bootstrap or small entrepreneurs is that they don't think big enough, right? For almost 95% of the companies around you are actually bootstrapped. The trader next to your house, the shopkeeper, the kirana shop, all of them are actually bootstrapped. No venture capitalist, no banker ever gave them money. So they had to create their own company and they had to be profitable. If they're not profitable, they won't be able to eat at the end of the day. And that is exactly what we want in big companies. We want them to find out how can they become profitable. And if they become profitable, then one of the problems is they're not ambitious enough. And so this is Silicon Valley. This is headquarters of Intel, at Santa Clara. I'm telling you some of the founders of the company who were actually ambitious, who thought big. And I actually went, to each of their headquarters, took some pictures. This is, it's Google. It's a Google company. You work all the time. That's what you browse. When I went there was no Facebook. In the sense, Facebook was not big. If I were to go again, I'd probably go to Facebook again. But that time there was no Facebook. This is Apple. Steve Jobs. The greatest ever, probably, on entrepreneurship. This is Sun Microsystem. Have you heard of Sun Microsystem? Another great company, another technology company. It's one of the pioneers. The Sun Microsystem was later acquired by Oracle. It's an amazing company. And then you have HP. These are all big companies. So the point is, you must be ambitious. When you are bootstrapping, when you are creating a company, you must be ambitious. This is the place where your computer mouse was invented. This is the place where what you see as graphical user interface, the phones that you're working on, the screens that you're working on, this is the place it was invented. It's called the PARC, Palo Alto Research Center. And again, one of the iconic places in Silicon Valley. My next story is about being in unseen places. So once you are a bootstrapped company, you will do things here and there, and you will be in places where you never imagined, you never thought about it. And I call it being in unseen places. And I do a lot in my traveling, and I also do a lot in my entrepreneur activity. So this is the city of Havana, Cuba, midday peak hour traffic. Cuba is this amazing place where it's a living museum. You have cars from 1960s running, because they have this trade ban from US, which is going away now. But this is the peak hour traffic of the biggest downtown, the biggest, you could say, the most populated area of Cuba, which is capital of Havana. It's called Malecon. That's what I am by the fort. And these are one of the luxury sedans, luxury cars in Cuba right now. Most of the cars. So Cuba has this amazing law that you could change the interior, but you can't change the exterior. This is government law. So people, it runs very, very fast, but from outside it will look like that. That's Che Guevara. He's a revolutionary. If you know history, a bit of history, one of the great revolutionaries in Cuba, Havana. Fidel Castro. The great revolutionary leader of Cuba. And that's one of the traditional areas of Havana, Cuba. And you can see a car there, one of the, 1960 Buick Chevrolet type of cars, in Havana. This was Hotel Hilton, and I kind of, they were singing a song there, when I was visiting them in the evening. She invited me, and I was singer for maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes, singing Bollywood songs. Yeah. This is a car, and another, from old, it's called Via Havana, old Havana, from old Havana. So be in unseen places. Don't be afraid. Do things. Do things that your friends have not done. Be in unseen places. And my next story is about be prepared for surprises. And this is the city of Cambridge, United Kingdom. And I had an assignment in south of UK, in Southampton. And I actually I had a friend living in Cambridge and I just went to meet him. And there was this amazing, beautiful snowfall. And this was the first snowfall of my life. And I just loved it, And it was a surprise for me. So that's why I thought I'll tell you the story of being prepared for surprises. So this is another place called Louisville in the state of Kentucky. And this is the place where Edison, the man who invented the light bulb and literally gave us electricity, he did his research out here. And I was driving across and I never saw what's going on. I saw a board out here. I stopped my car and I saw the board, and the board was about Edison. And I couldn't stop myself but admire the building, read all. I spent about 4 hours there, So for me it was a very big deal that you could find something like Edison in a place where you never expected. So that's Thomas Edison, Butcher's House. My next story is about having fun. So if you are going to do a startup, you have to keep yourself happy, literally. You have to be adventurous, you have to do things. And this is in South Africa. So I was in South Africa. I was driving across South Africa. I was driving through the Western Cape, going all the way to Cape Town. And I suddenly found this amazing bridge. And they were doing bungee jumping here. And I said, okay, let me take the plunge. I'll do a little bit of bungee jumping as well. So it was scary. When it's a Guinness Book of Record for being the highest place where commercial bungee jumping is offered. And and that's the picture I want to show you. When I was jumping for the first time, I was really scared, But the moment I jumped, I had 10 seconds of bliss, of heaven. You can't even imagine. Like when you're falling freely and you don't know, you're in the air. Okay, that's weightlessness. And you're falling down and the ground's coming close to you. And you would think that it would be scary. But no. The scare is only before you take the plunge. The moment you take the plunge, it's different. It's being in heaven, and I loved it. I loved it. That's why I had this, this picture out here. And then finally, you could see the smile on my face, and they had to come down and fetch me up, because I was like almost halfway between the bridge and the surface of the ground. So have fun. The next story is about making mistakes. So if you do a startup, all right, you really don't know what to do, what not to do. So you got to try out things. You got to do something here, something there, something here, and you will make mistakes. And I made a mistake too. I had one of my friends in Qatar. He told me that there's a very good business opportunity of buying cars from UK and selling them in Africa. And I love that idea because it was very easy. You go to UK, buy a car, sell in Africa, like make $5,000 every time you do it. And I thought it was a pretty cool business. So I went to UK, purchased this Jaguar. And I thought I would ship it to Tanzania and sell it in Tanzania, make my money. And, the UK part went pretty well. I had a Jaguar. I actually took the Jaguar, drove across UK, went all the places I wanted to go, went to Oxford, met my friends, went to all the places, had all the fun. Then took it to the port of Sheerness in Kent and shipped it to Tanzania. Took a flight after 1 month into Tanzania. And that's where the problem started happening because I failed to understand how much bureaucracy it was there in Tanzania. And I was trying something which is totally new. And that's when I had to really abandon the car in Tanzania. And I love that car. And I'm very, very sad that the car is not with its rightful owner. And it's just probably being auctioned off. It's lying somewhere in the port of Tanzania. I left the car and just went out, So I have made that mistakes and you will make a mistake too. But if you can control your mistakes, if you could make sure that your mistakes are small, and you can recover back. I recovered back pretty far from that mistake. And then you'll be fine. You'll be ready for another mistake. Till a point will come when you stop making mistakes. That's my Jaguar in UK. So they are my port agents. They are the people. So basically, they were doing the paperwork to send the car off into Tanzania. The shipping agents, So they're doing all the paperwork. My next story is about counting on family and friends. So I'm an MBA from National Institute of Industrial Engineering at Mumbai, and they are my classmates. And we are in touch with WhatsApp, and they tell me we discuss a lot of ideas and issues. So when you are bootstrapping, you really, literally, you would realize that even if you don't have money, but you have a lot of resources, you have a lot of friends, you have internet, now you have Malvika and you have Mitesh, you have a lot of help out here if you just seek out. So go and look for those resources. Those are amazing resources. And so those are my friends. That's Vivekanand Sharma, that's Akash Srivastava, Chidil Mule, that's me in middle. And then we discussed, so we met in Mumbai and we discussed, and after the discussion session, this is what happened, we all went, everyone is tired. So those are some of my stories, and with these stories, what I want to tell you is that I did everything on a bootstrap basis. I have never spent even a minute talking to any financer ever, government financer, bank financer, venture capitalist. I have not done that. And I've always believed that you could always work your way up to find a product that will sell with customers. And I'm a pure bootstrap guy. And my message to you is that you should also bootstrap. And I'm doing this thing called Ranchi Mall, which is purely bootstrap, right? And if you go to facebook.com/Ranchi Mall, you will find out the things that we are doing, the products we are coming up. So right now I'm working with an education product. So we have one person, an amazing guy. He loves to, he's from Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, passed out the same year when I passed out. And we are planning to do a free, open course on entrepreneurship for any student in Ranchi, on Ranchi Mall. And I think all of you should be, and it's without age, anyone can participate. You are a school kid, you are a college kid, you are an MBA kid, or you are a retired person. You must attend those classes. Those classes will be on internet, free of cost, and that's one of the projects we are doing with my friend Atul Kumar, extremely passionate guy. And so basically we are an e-commerce shop with a difference. We sell only things on internet, and we try to sell those things which you can't find anywhere else. We create our own custom products. So that's what Ranchi Mall is, and I'm trying to bootstrap it out of the city of Ranchi. I'm trying to create this new, I'm trying to create my first source of profitability at Ranchi. And once Ranchi becomes profitable, and I'll start getting cash, and the cash from Ranchi will help me drive Ranchi Mall all across the world. So literally Ranchi is going to finance this wherever it goes, all over the world. And so it depends on you. It's going to be, I'm very excited about being in Ranchi and being part of doing this. This is the place I grew up, my early schooling was in the city of Ranchi. And with that, I present myself again as an evidence that you must bootstrap, you must start up. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you.
Right?
Ruben, this session in this morning, I talked about having a Facebook page to start a business. And there are quite a few people who are looking to start, right here.
Right.
So any piece of advice that you have on creating audience and engagement on Facebook?
Right. So first thing I would say is that the advice that Amitesh gave you, that is exactly the advice. Like earlier, you used to find a garage in a small office to start a startup. Now all you need is a Facebook page. So what you have to do first, you don't have to worry about audience or engagement. What you have to do is start writing your ideas. Alright, and if you need 10 friends, 20 friends, 30 friends, you will have some friends. You start getting feedback from some of your friends, and you start posting something better so that your friends start sharing with their friends. Okay, and this will take like 6 months time or 5 months time, but not be afraid of it. Do this because it will educate you. It will tell you what to do. Keep on doing it for 6 months or about a year, and then your Facebook will have maybe 20 likes or 25 likes. If you have reached 25 likes, you have somewhere, you have made it, then you try 50 likes, and you have this rule of compounding that the first 100 likes are the most difficult likes, okay? You reach 100 likes, that means you are getting up somewhere, and slowly, you go up to 200 likes, 300 likes, once you have enough number of likes, someone will notice your idea. Like we in Ranchi Mall, we are looking for exciting people, we will notice you. Malvika is there, and once you start posting, if you are from Ranchi and if you are doing Facebooking, first of all, if you're not Facebooking, you must be on Facebook. If your mom told you that it's a time waster tool, no, don't trust them. That tool is going to change the world. That tool is your license to the world. So go, open up a page, start a company, write whatever you want to write, start getting your likes out here. It starts from there, and then you start getting ideas and start building it.